So for today's Hearthstone video, I have to admit that yesterday we weren't even in ranked. We weren't even at the rank 20 level. We were just playing in casual, and so we won, and that's great. And now we're just going to stay in casual. I have 2 priest quests to do, so I'm going to play this priest deck. It's not all that different from months ago when I played it before. It's got a couple new additions. I only have 1 Light of the Naryu in it because I only own 1, which is kind of sad. Since then, I've crafted Sylvanas. Sylvanas is in here because, you know, taking your opponent's cards is fun. And that's about it. It's a little less gimmicky. I think there's only 1 circle of healing in here, so that you've got the sweep with Alkanai Soul Priest or some fun shenanigans with Injured Blade Master. All these cards are not really things I want in my opening hand. Shrinkmeister's there for some potential... oh god, what's the name of the card? Cabal Shadow Priest value. And here we go. Is someone injured?
One day, I'll be a real knight.
We have both a golden hero power and now a golden turn 1 play. So, you know, things are looking up. I guess we don't have any other play here, so we might as well take the free card. Plus that way we can kill it if hero power is all the rogue does this turn. I would think that would be plenty. I don't know. It's a confusing world, you know? Yeah, we could Blade Master here just to see if we can get it out safely. But we'll just make the dam stand ready. Either one of them gets killed by Eviscerate. A Poileted Shredder. Well, we do have a couple of options here. Power World Shield lets us trade. I do kind of like that. Okay.
My fate is sealed.
My fate is sealed.
Just like you.
Yeah. Let's do it. Build up a nice beefy board. There are responses to this, but I don't think any of them are great. I mean, like, Sap doesn't really even set us back that much in terms of tempo. Hit in the face. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. I think we'll just play Holy Nova here. Not that way, though. That would be stupid. Because we haven't really been dissuaded from just keeping a stranglehold on the board, and now we have a couple different turn 6 plays. If another small minion comes out like Harvest Golem, we can Cabal Shadow Priest it. And if not, we just drop Sylvanas and we move on with our life.
I have no time for games.
I don't know if you know this, but she doesn't have any time for games. I'm having a hard time envisioning the worst thing that can happen here. Vanish? How many rogue decks even run Vanish anymore? Even this isn't really that bad. Bunch of face damage, not really clearing all that well, and even if Blade Flurry comes here like you would suspect based on this line so far, we still have a 4-7 that can be healed back up to a 4-10 on the board. I don't know why the deckhand came out now, but I'm gonna take it.
Let me change your mind.
But I want to play that over here.
Let me change your mind.
There we go.
Your turn to bleed.
That's right. I just took that because I don't even know if I'm going to find a better target, and because it's funny to me. Okay. We have so many options here. I don't even know which one's the best all of a sudden. We could take a Boombot, which is funny, but not the best option. I think we'll just do this.
I've got the beast
Keep the
in
board
my
presence
sight.
going. Make a trade here. See what happens. Cool.
Your turn to bleed.
And do that. We could have Aconite for more damage. We could have done all sorts of stuff, but it's fine. Wow, look how well that worked out for him. That's cute.
This guy's toast.
I mean, I was just going to kill the Lotheb with 8 mana. Yeah, I'm going to do it anyways. We're just going to keep leaving the rogue's options dry. That's what this deck is all about. It's a priest. And sure, now the Blade Master gets killed by, like, Eviscerate or some such, but whatever. We'll be taking that.
Tazdingo.
Ooh, now we have a choice. Which one do we really want to take? I think we'll take the Sen'jin Shield Master. I think a taunt is funnier to me.
Let me change your mind.
And then we heal here, and we hit here, and then we just say, okay, you have 9 health and 3 cards. You got to clear this board. And even if he clears 2 of the 4 minions, if they're not the 3 attack ones that are both left, then we Akonai and we kill next turn.
I get
Sometimes it's not as simple as having a Golden Portrait and a Dr. Boom. Doesn't always work that way. What do we got here? Look, we worked on all of the quests. We're going to do one more because the video is way too short. And I'm not about that. I want you to get banged for your buck. The arena lets you build a deck from random cards. You can also win prizes. Yeah, you can win 40 dust for every pack you get.
watch your...
Because even though we can introduce a new Discover mechanic where you choose between 3 cards, and by the way, I think it's a cool mechanic in this expansion, we can't have you choose between 3 different expansions worth of decks for your arena prize. That's ridiculous. You can only get one or the other or the most recent one or whatever. It's silly. So many little problems with this game right now, and yet it's still really good. It's kind of frustrating. They address some of them with, say, the ladder incentives, which we've talked about in previous videos in this series. That helped, but there's still a log jam of people who are farming rank 20 for golden portraits. Casual's a nightmare, because you either run into decks that you stomp, or you run into ladder-worthy decks that are just in casual because who knows why. So I don't know how new players are supposed to get into this game. I really don't. It just keeps getting worse and worse the longer the game's out.
Is someone injured?
But it's okay. I at least had the advantage of having played this long enough where I have a decent collection. I still don't have a number of cards that I would like to have. For example, this deck, I'd love to have Vol'jin, but he's a legendary and he's not that important. He's certainly good,
Right away.
but he's not mandatory. I also don't have any light bombs, so it's kind of tough for me to play a really threatening control deck when I don't have much in the way of huge board clears. I mean, Holy Nova, but you start seeing beefy minions or giants and stuff like that, and Holy Nova just, they shrug that off. Alright. We don't particularly mind seeing a Deadly Poison spent to kill off a Northshire Cleric. And now we can play this on curve, which is nice. And he can't kill it just with his weapon, so that's also nice. I'm sure it's going to die. Backstab weapon. SI agent. Could come out here without even expending the weapon. No? Okay. Because unfortunately, like last game, we drew really poorly, but unlike last game, we didn't even mulligan all that well. Hey, we found a turn 4 play. I guess we're going to take it. It's better than healing and passing. Or Shrinkmeister into nothing. It's at least something that he has to deal with, although it will not be that difficult. Fan of Knives. That's interesting. I guess just to get the card out of his hand, and he doesn't have much else going for it, but... we will take advantage. Well, we can't do Shredder and kill the 2-1 unless we just trade. I think that's better. Let's do it that way. Dumb though that seems, I'd rather just clear the minion off. Pretty much every rogue deck nowadays is some form of rogue that has oil. There's not a whole lot else. Mill, but this clearly isn't that. And the only way oil really gets value out of stuff is if it can keep a minion on the board. That's not the best to come out, but it's also not the worst. Oh, how do we want to do this? We are unfortunately 2 mana away from Shrinkmaster. We could just play Sylvanas, but it dies too easily. We could play Sylvanas and trade with the Drake. Or, see, the problem is, even if I just use heal to do damage and kill the Drake that way, I'm not getting any board presence then, so I think that this is going to have to be correct. I would rather have not popped the Haunted Creeper, but I think that's the best play. Also, I forgot Black Knight was in this deck. It's not a card you see a ton of anymore because taunts are not really what the game is about right now. We'll see if that changes a bit with League of Explorers coming in, but I don't think so. Okay. Pretty straightforward turn coming here, I think. No. Seems fine. Next turn we have all sorts of options. The main combo, of course, is sitting on the left, but we can respond to a bunch of different plays here. Okay. Well, can't really fault the rogue for going with that in that spot because our board isn't intimidating either. He kind of gets to draw for free, but that's fine. We can reestablish Sylvanas and heal again.
I have no time for games.
And keep just hammering away. Maybe he's drawn into the second sap and we just start losing more tempo, but then again, we're also not behind, so it's not too big of a deal either way. I also don't know exactly where the Black Knight's going to be used in this game. But I guess we'll find out.
We are the sword in the shadows.
I was about to say how annoying that we don't have an answer, but we drew one. So we'll keep going to this, and we'll keep seeing if he has responses to it. He's out of saps. Because it's going to really keep a stranglehold on what he can and cannot play on the board. And now we're still in the range where, of course, like Eviscerate and Weapon will kill Sylvanas, but, I mean, if that's what it takes, so be it. While he's been essentially ahead on the mana curve because of bouncing Sylvanas back and making me keep playing it, he's not building a board at all. So we're not really that intimidated by it, and we're at 30 health. Rogue's capable of doing some pretty insane burst damage to both the board and the face if they need to, thanks to Blade Flurry especially, but not 30.
Too soon.
If for some reason he ropes out here, then we'll just Blade Master, heal it, and pass, depending on what we draw. Yep.
Let none survive.
Let none survive.
Too soon.
We're also somewhat unlikely to get a big Game Hunter target here, but with oil and some other stuff, it's possible. But more importantly, we might just win the game with the most unexciting finish you've ever seen in Hearthstone. We don't have lethal here, which is sad. I don't even really want to play the Cabal Shadow Priest, although I probably should. So what we're just going to do is this. Just establish a bigger board, and then win on the next turn. It shouldn't matter whatsoever, because we're just going to win from him not doing anything. But if, in case it did, playing the Black Knight there is the correct play, just to establish more board presence. And now we're going to win with it. Oh, what? No, I was going to win with the Black... Just do the Dr. Boom, too. Well, that's that Priest deck for now. It's just meant to be an annoyance. It doesn't really have any of the high-end stuff like we talked about. It's missing a couple key cards, but it's still enough to get by, and it has pretty good synergy with what it's got going. It's just not quite as good as it could be. We'll probably play something else tomorrow. I don't know what. We'll see.